Welcome to Online Sports Nutrition, and this is the lecture and the lab version of the course, Bio 127. I am Dr. Jenkins. We're going to be working together for the next 6 weeks. So I just wanted to do a little video to introduce myself. Hi. And to also just talk you through some of the basics of what to expect for this course. Um, all of this information is on the syllabus, it's on Blackboard, but sometimes it's just easier if we can just have a little conversation for 5 minutes and then you can just, off you go. All right. So, as I said, this is Sports Nutrition, Bio 127, with the lecture and the lab. To start, just want to make it clear every part of this course will be completed online. So all of the lecture material and exams, all of the lab material and quizzes will be online. Usually this course meets in person over the summer, but because of COVID, even though we're coming towards the tail end of that, for this second summer session at Hudson Valley, this course is still online. All right. So here's what to expect. You're going to see on the syllabus a semester schedule, and it's going to nicely lay out for you what we're doing every week of the course. For every week of the course, in lecture, we'll be covering 2 chapters. There's going to be 1 week, I think it's just one, in there where we cover 3 chapters. Okay, so every week in lecture, we're going to be covering 2 or 3 chapters. For each of those chapters, you will see on Blackboard a PowerPoint that I've made. It's not the boring old PowerPoint that came from the textbook. No. It is a PowerPoint that I've come up with myself, that's much clearer, hopefully, and much easier for you to understand and follow. So there'll be a PowerPoint on Blackboard for you to follow along. There will be a chapter outline, which is a Word document just with headings. The chapter outline is basically a study guide because it outlines all of the most important topics, and then you can fill in the notes. Think about what's going to work best for you. Some people like to use the chapter outline. They like to have the main headings, and then they find it beneficial to write in themselves the details. Other people choose to use the PowerPoint. That will have more information on it, but some people do better just by seeing all the information and being able to circle or whatever is most important. So for each chapter, there'll be a PowerPoint and a chapter outline. Plus, you'll see a link to my YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel is a lecture of me going through the PowerPoint. Okay? Watch the lecture. I think I break them up into hour. And I try and do some of the shorter chapters I can just do in an hour. Sometimes it might take me 2 separate videos to get through get through the material. Please watch them. Please people, I try and not be boring, but this is basically the same thing I would do if we were meeting in person. Now, some people, when they teach an online course, choose to meet at a certain time on Zoom. We will not be doing that for this course. We will not be meeting at a certain time. For this level of course, the 100 level, and also in consideration of everyone's schedule and probably what they have going on in their lives, I think it's a better fit for this course for me to post the lecture videos that you can watch on your own schedule. So you can watch them anytime. You could also rewatch them or rewatch certain parts. So we will not be meeting at a certain time on Zoom. You have access to the lecture videos that you can watch, rewatch any old time you want. Now, if you have questions, send me an email. If you have questions that can't be answered over email that well, or if you prefer, send me an email and say, hey, Dr. J, can we meet on Zoom? I have some questions. Sure, I'll set up a Zoom call for you and me. Don't hesitate to ask. That's my job. Okay? So I'm there for you. But you'll need to watch the video first. So if it's something that's really simple that I go over 100 times in the video and you want a Zoom call, when we get on that Zoom call, I'll probably say, well, did you watch the video? So watch the video. I'll be very clear about what you need to know. Okay, so each week in lecture, we're going to have 2 chapters, sometimes 3. There'll be lecture videos, and then you can follow along with the PowerPoint, the same PowerPoint I use in the video, and or a chapter outline. Also, because we have a lab, I'm just looking at the syllabus here to make sure I'm giving you accurate information because I have multiple classes. Along with the lecture, we will have a lab component. And all of this material will be on one Blackboard page. Okay, so on the Blackboard page, you'll see a tab that says lecture videos, lecture PowerPoints, right? And then you'll see a tab that says lab. So you'll click on lab. What you'll see is each week, in addition to going through the 2 or 3 lecture chapters, we will have 2 labs. I believe every week we have 2 labs. I'm just trying to look at it here. Pretty much every week we have 2 labs. All of the material that you need for those labs is on Blackboard. Oftentimes I make a lab video. These are going to be shorter because it's not a lecture, but it's going to be a little video where I walk you through the lab. Along with the lab, there's going to be a lab assignment and a lab quiz. So you'll go through the 2 labs, you'll watch the videos, you'll ask me questions, you'll fill in the lab assignment, you'll email me your completed lab assignment, and then you will take the online lab quiz. This final and 6th week of the course, there's no lab, and that's because I want to give you more time to focus on lecture. Okay. Let's see. So what I didn't talk about is in lecture, we're going to have 4 lecture exams. There's not a lecture exam the first week. I think that would be cruel and unusual punishment. So that first week is just to get you into the ball game of things. I can't think of the better word. But starting on the 2nd week, there'll be a lecture exam, which is multiple choice on Blackboard. The exam will be available, just looking here to make sure, the lecture exam will be available all week. You only get 1 attempt at it, okay? In addition to those 4 exams, in addition to the lab assignment and lab quiz, there's going to be a couple of extra assignments peppered in. There's going to be a scientific article review and a lay article review. That's going to be where I give you an article to read and then ask you a list of questions about that article. And there's also going to be an athlete diet plan. This will be due towards the very end of the course. The athlete diet plan is where you'll be asked to pick an athlete type, and then you'll come up with a 2-day diet plan for that athlete. Now, of course, there's not just one right answer, but I'll be looking for you to include some of the concepts that we've talked about in this course. Okay. I'm just looking over here to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. Everything to make your life easier, everything will be due no later than each Sunday at midnight. So each week in lab, that lab assignment and that lab quiz online, due no later than Sunday at midnight. For lecture, every time we have a lecture exam, you must complete it no later than that Sunday at midnight. If we have a scientific article review, to be completed and turned in no later than Sunday at midnight. So there shouldn't be any confusion about when things are due. Sunday at midnight. You should know I do not take late assignments. Period. I mean, unless someone died or you're in a horrific car accident, in which case you'll need to reach out to me as soon as is possible. So if you have something come up, just communicate with me as quickly as you can. But other than that, I don't take late assignments. So what that means is you really want to make sure you plan out your week. There's a lot of material to cover in 6 weeks. I try and break it up. I try and be as clear as I can in the videos and in the lab so you know what to focus on and study. But plan, plan, plan. Do not wait until the last minute. Don't wait until 11:55 on Sunday night to take the online lab quiz. What if there's a technical problem? It's not going to give me enough time to reset it for you before the deadline. Don't wait to send me an email until 11:59. I've had instances where the email comes in at 12:02. Okay? So do your work early. That way it's less stress on you. And that way, in the event that there's any kind of technical problem, it gives us enough time to figure that out before the deadline. All right. Lastly, communication. I am here for you. You can reach me through email. You can reach me and say, hey, I want to schedule a Zoom call. And lastly, I'm going to be giving you a Remind code. There's a free phone app called Remind, and you'll see I'm going to give you a course code on Blackboard. It's a free app. Download it. You can basically send me a text message without us having to know each other's phone number. So that's another way for you to communicate with me anytime. Okay, I may not get back to you right away, but I do my best to get back to anybody who communicates with me within 24 hours. All right, so welcome to the course. We got lecture, we got lab, we got exams, we have lab quizzes, and there is a cumulative final exam for lecture. I'll talk about that later. It's going to be broken down into 25 question quizzes, so it'll be a little bit more digestible. But everything you need to know is on the syllabus. It's on Blackboard. You can ask me with questions. So get ready to work hard. Just 6 weeks, so just bear with it, plan ahead, and I look forward to working with you. Good luck.